Okay guys, today we will be showing you where the fuel filter on a Audi A8 D2 body is located. Since there is no videos online or pictures in forums, anything like that specifying, showing you exactly where it's at. I read a few forums and it said it was in front of the rear passenger wheel well, which is roughly in this area. That's the rear wheel well. You don't have to take off the rear wheel tire. I did because I didn't know exactly where it was located. It is located under here. You have a plastic that covers it up, this piece right here. Has a total of 6 screws. I took only 5 off and left one off, one on, the one farther back. That way the plastic just hangs down. If your car is in a colder climate or the plastic is dry rotted, I wouldn't recommend leaving down on, as the plastic might crack. But for me it worked. So this is my car. Audi A8 4.2 97. I don't know if the fuel filter location is the same for the facelift models. Mine is a pre-facelift. Okay, going to the filter. This is the old one right here. It is directional. The arrow has to be pointing towards the front of the vehicle. First end I removed was this end, which is towards the front of the vehicle, hence the arrow pointing that way. That one was fairly easy to remove. The second one is a slightly larger size bolt. The first one was a 17mm. The second one I found it to be a 3/4 size, and that one is a bit tricky since try to loosen it and the whole filter spins with it anyway. Use another wrench, hold this end of the filter. That one comes off fairly easy after that. Now on each bolt you have 2 crush washers. If I can get focus here. Anyway, 2 crush washers, one before, one after the fitting. And this one is somewhat stuck to the bolt. Anyway, let's see if we can get it focused here. Nope, doesn't seem to like me today. Okay, there we go. So both of them have that. You are supposed to replace them. My new fuel filter wasn't supplied with them. So what I'm going to do is go down to my hardware store and find something similar that would work. Also on the fuel filter there's a plastic that wraps around it with one Phillips end screw. So what I did first, remove the fittings off. By the way, you'll have fuel draining out. I used a rag to soak it up. I would recommend using a pan if available. After you remove the fittings, let it drain a bit, since the level will probably be about there. What I did is, as it was mounted in that plastic piece, as you can see, it's dripping still. I turned it a bit sideways so it can drain a bit. That way I can just pull it out without getting all soaked in fuel. Recommend using latex gloves. And let's see if we can get a shot here of where it goes. That's the plastic right there that I was talking about that holds the filter. One of the fittings is right there. That's the larger one. And the other one is tucked away here, which would be that guy right there. Okay, so also to get the fuel filter out, slide it towards the front of the car. Do not try to bend that plastic wrap down, as it might crack. I don't know, mine didn't crack, but I just slid it forward as a precaution. hopefully this video helps, since there isn't one out there yet. And any questions, you can post them below. The fuel filter, I got it fairly cheap from a website called europaparts.com. Man filter, so it's pretty good quality. I'll post a link to their website down below. Any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to help with anything I know. Guys, another thing I forgot to mention, something that helped me out was before attempting to remove the fuel filter, I removed this cover off the fuel pump housing, which is in the back trunk on the right side, passenger side. 3 screws, and I unplugged this wire which provides power to the fuel pump. Then I put the ignition a few times and cranked it once. It helped out with releasing the fuel pressure from the line. That way when you do go ahead and remove the fuel filter, it doesn't spray everywhere. You don't have to necessarily do this. You could use a rag around the wrench when loosening it to soak up the fuel from spraying everywhere. However, it will drain regardless if you unplug the fuel pump or not. Just a tip, worked for me, and hopefully it helps you guys out. Later.